He's been called the Prince of Pest Control, the Sultan of Swatting Bugs, the Pest Inspector General, and the Chief Inspection Officer of Unipest, the premier pest control company in Santa Clarita and surrounding areas. He's also eating in my studio, which is not sanitary. He's Card Ellis. What's happening, Card?
I love radio.
Yeah,
you get away with it.
How's your 4th? You're a big America guy.
Dude, I drove the truck.
The fire truck?
Yeah, last year we had the big Unipest banners on it, and I learned how to drive it. So they actually asked me to drive it. And so I was the guy in the little red hat. I drove in the 4th of July parade.
Driving.
Droving. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. I'll blame it on being sick.
Yeah.
You drove the big fire truck.
You
don't need any like qualifications or special licensures.
No, it is a regular gas-powered giant of an engine, and it's a double clutch, which predates regular clutches, which predate all the automatics that everybody drives. So it's old school technology, but yeah, just a regular driver's license.
You're such a man. You know how to drive stick shift. You fighting bugs.
Double stamped man card, man.
Wow, excellent.
Almost as cool as being a radio host.
Almost. So, Cardin, I was just reading online that bugs are evolving. They're mutating. They're becoming more resistant to pesticides.
Cockroaches, yeah.
Cockroaches specifically. They're finding they've developed harder shells. Have you witnessed this sea change?
You know, a friend of mine actually had texted me one of the most hilarious texts I ever received with a link to that story, just saying, I'm going to the moon colonies. Like, forget this. Well, actually, we're trying to eat cockroaches now, too. 85.
Not me. You?
No, look at this. It's actually kind of wild. If you go to some of these sports bars now, and you go to some of the just little kitchenettes that they have in a lot of these weightlifting arenas, they're selling cricket bars where you take crickets and you just blend them up, and it makes this puree, and you let it just like basically dry in the sun or an oven, and it makes these kind of like Tostitos or tortilla chip looking things. But it's literally just cricket protein. Super healthy for you, super awesome, good roughage. 85% of the world eats insects except for North America. It's just not part of our cuisine, not part of our diet.
I'm okay with that, though.
But, dude, cockroaches could literally cure world hunger. Seriously, you have no idea.
I guess.
No, seriously, we don't have deficiencies in the American diet. We have superfluous amounts of sugar, fat, high fructose corn syrup, the whole 9 yards. But in other countries where sometimes it's difficult to get a hold of proteins, the populations become deficient. And what better way than to literally farm cockroaches? I've been to these places. They're gnarly, dude.
I would just like to know who's doing the research that discovered, man, these cockroach shells, they're not as soft as they once used to be. I want to know the research.
Well, it's the chitin. You mentioned that. And this is, I don't want to go down too crazy of a scientific rabbit hole here, but
you always do.
Yeah, I know. It's a blessing and a curse. But basically, see, you've got an endoskeleton. If you fall off your bike and you break your arm, it's because your skeleton, your bones are inside of your flesh, which is then wrapped in your epidermal layer, which is your skin. Bugs are the exact opposite. Their muscles are underneath, inside, and their shell, their outside, is their skeleton. That's why it's called an exoskeleton. You have an endoskeleton, bugs have an exoskeleton. And that's why, despite their small size, fleas can jump so high, and beetles can run so fast, and bees and tarantula hawks can fly so quickly, okay? But that chitin is just like your skin kind of evolves to the sun and it starts to release more melanin, and you can just see evolutionarily across the human spectrum of Homo sapiens, obviously people from Nigeria are a lot darker than people from like Northern Ireland, okay, because they have adapted to their environment. Well, cockroaches, which are some of the fastest breeding insects out there, are starting to literally evolve to the application of pesticides that affect their chitin, and the chitin is what makes that little layer that when you step on a roach, it crunches and squashes it. So straight up, dude, these things might start surviving despite treatment. It's gnarly. It's called pest resistance. It's real.
We're talking with Card Ellis of Unipest. Do you guys use organic products? So are they as effective on these mutant cockroaches now?
Oh, yes and no. See, what's interesting is like organic. For example, a shoe's organic. If I step on a roach, that's about as effective as it gets in terms of extermination, and I haven't used a single chemical, right? At the same time, sometimes organic can actually be worse for some customers. Like women that wear makeup will know this, that if you're organic to if you're allergic to a certain organic compound that's found in natural mineral makeups, your face is going to swell up like you're the Nutty Professor. So in that case, you actually need synthesized compounds, literally for your own safety. So organic's a very interesting word. There are some organic compounds that are good, but oftentimes will actually do more damage in rivers and in certain settings where you wouldn't want to use them. So sometimes synthesized pesticides are better. And then other times there's synthesized pesticides that are just unnecessary. So usually what my statement is instead of saying, oh, we go all organic, I just say we use the most natural, lowest impact possible. Because when you're dealing with the safety of your children, you also don't want to mess around. Or if a restaurant's been shut down by the health department, you don't want to be, squirting diatomaceous earth in the corner, hoping that 28 days later it slowly works. You know what I'm saying? We need to open tomorrow. So the answer is yes, but it's not in the form of chemicals that you think. We'll use heat a lot too. I've had some restaurants, for example, that have developed an imported roach problem because now that we're not killing the roaches in the factories or in the delivery vehicles, the average restaurant will import 7 to 8 roach eggs or live roaches themselves per day just in a lot of their goods that they ship in.
Ew.
Like their plates, their condiments, their food items, especially fresh fruits and vegetables, okay? So if all of a sudden one of those boxes is bad and a bunch of roaches escaped and they're in the kitchen and they got to open tomorrow morning, we'll come in with these massive 50,000 BTU heaters and we won't even use chemicals at all. Organic or inorganic, we won't even use chemicals. We'll heat the area to 140 degrees, that entire kitchen. So we literally cook all of the insects inside and they die within 2 hours.
Oh, and they can open up the next day?
Yeah, the next day, within hours, actually. I mean, within 58 minutes.
Hey, Cardin, let me ask you. You're at a restaurant.
Yeah.
You're sitting down with your family.
I can
you
smell
receive You receive your. Can you?
You can smell roaches.
Ew. All right, so you receive your plate of food. You find a dead roach in among your food. Do you send the plate of food back and ask them to remake it, or do you just pick the roach off and just eat it?
No,
just power through.
I eat the roach and analyze its taste, figuring out what it has eaten in the kitchen. No, I'm just kidding. No.
You would send it back, though, right?
Of course, in a heartbeat.
You've eaten roaches, though.
No, but I've eaten termites.
Oh, that's even grosser.
I've eaten
Oh my
crickets
gosh.
and termites. I've never eaten a roach.
He's Cardin Ellis of Unipest, your one-stop shop for pest and termite control in the Santa Cruz Valley and across all the LA area. Call them today for your free inspection, 661-284-7575, or reach out and get more info at unipest.com. Cardin, we're going to be seeing triple-digit temps this weekend. What do we need to know about pests and bugs in this heat wave that we're going to be experiencing?
You just need to know our number, because when it gets over 100 degrees, man, I mean, I could tell you all the things that could go wrong with bugs, but that would be like trying to drink from a fire hose, baby.
What's the most prevalent issue so far this summer?
Ants are going to start going crazy. No, this summer it's been bees, because with all the forest fires that we had, knocked out all the competition for bees, and we also had such a moist winter that we've never had a higher level of pollination in 40 years. So I've been removing, I got 3 bee stings on my chest right now I could show you. I mean, it's crazy how much I've been having to do with bees. But during the summer, spiders, black widows, ants, and termites.
Ooh. Cardin Ellis of Unipest. Call them today for your free inspection, 661-284-7575. Again, you can also reach them online at unipest.com. Cardin, till next time, man.
All right, see ya.
98.